All right, guys, welcome. We have some Ain't Hard to Tell extra content and some stuff that didn't make episode 2 of our podcast. And one of the shows that Bryan and myself, we have thoroughly enjoyed, I have enjoyed the last 2 seasons. Definitely Bryan kind of caught up late, got into the game, is Insecure. And they just had the season 2 finale this past week. We didn't get to touch on it in the podcast, but I loved it, man. Another great season of the show. Excellent storytelling. Another great finale. I'm really intrigued to see where this show is headed into season 3. And are people still Team Issa? Are people still Team Lawrence? Where do your allegiances lie?
Or Team Tasha?
I've always been Team Tasha. For multiple reasons. Our producer Matt is giving us the okay. Yeah, she's okay with a lot of people. Dominique Perry is the actress, and we'd love to have you on Ain't Hard to Tell. We'd love to have you sit here and interview you about Insecure. So Dominique Perry, that's me shooting my shot on the podcast. That would be great. But in all honesty, we didn't see too much of Tasha after she had a breakup with a little bit Lawrence. What did you think of the season, Bryan? Did you like how things played out? It wasn't a happy ending for everybody in it, but did you like how things played out?
Yo, they really hooked me at the end. The spoiler alert, by the way, everybody watching and listening.
If you haven't watched it, you shouldn't be watching this extra. We thank you, we appreciate your view. You shouldn't be watching.
Yeah, but the whole ending of how Lawrence just kind of spontaneously proposed to her. Looking back, I feel like we, or the people that got like kind of hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok, you know what I'm saying? Like all that should have known that that's where it was going, where that wasn't actually the case. But if you don't remember, if you didn't watch it, then you shouldn't be listening to this. But Lawrence, kind of just proposed to Issa when they were all in the house alone and they had that moment, and then Issa had the kind of seeing into the future, or we saw into the future what was happening, her getting pregnant, them having a kid, living their lives together.
Super happy.
I thought it was beautiful, and then we just got back to present time. And that was it.
Snap back to reality.
Yeah. I thought, look, I love the way Insecure is written. That right there, though, at the end of the second season, I was like, wow. And then I saw what happened at the end. I was like, whew. Because I remember tweeting, like, there's no way this could possibly happen. Like, come on, Lawrence.
Yeah. I mean, when they first showed that scene, I kind of was like, oh, man, like, I didn't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
But then, I was watching, and once they showed her pregnant, I was like, nah. I knew it wasn't real. I knew it was completely fake, and it just was true to the roots of the show, where she kind of, Issa the character, visualizes these things that may or may not happen.
Yeah.
Generally, always expecting the worst. This actually was positive. But it didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't go that route, because if they had gone that way,
assuming it does, there's another season on the way, at least one more.
I don't think any of that. But if it had gone, what I'm saying is, if it had gone that way for the season finale, and they tried to wrap it up with this nice neat bow.
Oh, you'd be tight.
Issa and Lawrence. Yeah, I would have been like, boo,
get out of here.
Get out of here. Ain't nobody trying to see that. So I didn't. That would have bothered me, and I think what they did is like, look, sometimes in relationships that go wrong, they acknowledge each other and had an adult conversation about it, which was dope.
Yeah.
But, you're not going to immediately get back together. Sometimes the people you still love doesn't mean that they're the people for you.
Right, yeah.
Going forward. And I think that's something to be taken care of out of it. Now, what's really interesting is, where do we go from this? Where does Lawrence go from this? Where does Issa go from this? We see her moving in with Daniel, but talking about sleeping on the couch. Sister, you ain't sleeping on the couch for too long. We know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Molly is still making some of the same mistakes. So it's interesting. I love the characters in the show because they're not perfect. They're all flawed, and I think you get to see that.
I love the whole, it's a bunch of bad decision making, like over and over again.
There's some good decision making, but kind of
yeah. But for you know what I mean? Like, you kind of get your hopes up, but then it's like, Issa, what are you doing? Like, I'm Team Lawrence, and I'm kind of bummed out that a partner walked out on him. You know what I mean? That's her name, right?
Oh, a partner? Yeah. It's because coworker.
Yeah. I'm kind of bummed that, because her too. But, but she walked out on him, and Issa called them, kind of forced that, and then she just kind of left. They were already like going ruffling. The feathers were getting ruffled before that, but then she walked out, and that was about it. And we didn't see her again. Dominique Perry also walked out on him. Well, I mean Dominique Perry.
Lawrence took some L's.
Lawrence definitely took some L's. I think he's probably got like a 500 record, but he's played the most games. Where he's got the most wins, but he's also got the most L's in the series.
I mean, look, Lawrence had some growing up and some awakening to do as well. So I think he's grown and maybe hopefully learned a lot at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think everybody still grew despite still making some mistakes, but that's what life is, and that's something I like about the show that I think is great. And so I just, want to give a clap to Issa Rae and the great production team there and what they're doing. They're doing a good job, and I think they're doing a good job of the series. They seem like they know where they want to go.
Yeah.
They're not forcing anything. Nothing feels contrived and
doesn't feel rushed.
feels rushed. Yeah.
To me, it's my favorite show on HBO right now. Like, I love Ballers, and I've been following Ballers too, but I kind of get up more now, maybe because it's fresher to me. Because I caught on like right at the beginning of the second season, went back, binge watched the first season, saw the whole second season as it aired every night, and then I was like, "Yo, this is my joint right now." To me, it's the show that I get up for the most on HBO right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you got in and watched it because it was good. Now we have this to talk about, and
now I know everything.
Yeah, hopefully next season we'll be talking about it too. So. We like the season finale. We like these 2 seasons of the show, 16 episodes. We're both excited to see what comes next. So let us know in the comments. Let us know what you thought, what you liked.
We want all of them on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yvonne Orji, Issa Rae. That's her last name. Don't laugh.
If you got, we're shooting the shot again for all you guys. If you guys want to come on the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast,
Jay Ellis.
we'd be more than glad to talk to you guys about some Insecure. We love the show, and hopefully we'll have more stuff. We're talking about some random things like Insecure that you might not have thought we'd talk about in the podcast, but this is what we do on Ain't Hard to Tell Extra.